Hi, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. We're live and in color from High Top Television Hill, the studios of WPXI and your Pittsburgh cable news channel. If this looks a little bit different to you, it's because it is. We are christening the brand new Night Talk set. We have a brand new Night Talk logo. We had a brand new Night Talk open. We have the same old damn Night Talk guest. But they're the best Night Talk guests in the history of the program, and that's why we've invited them here to christen the new Night Talk set on Free for All Night, ladies and gentlemen. Mr.
Where's the
Pittsburgh.
champagne?
Yeah, we're
It's in my car.
Yeah.
We're awfully honored. Aren't you honored to be here, Mayor?
Yes,
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the people as if you don't already recognize him. The lovely and talented Lynn Cullen, who holds forth every freaking day of the week, Monday through Friday, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on WPTT 1360 a.m.
Well done.
One of the last liberal voices in the world, if not the city of Pittsburgh, at minimum. Ladies and gentlemen, the best damn mayor this city ever had, and we all know it. And when we ought to throw that current guy out and reinstall her, there's a coup. We need a coup. The legendary
A regime replacement. A regime
change.
Yes, we need a regime change in Pittsburgh.
Thank you, John. I'm
Sophie
glad to be
Masloff.
here. I'm glad to be anywhere.
I understand.
I'm glad to be here tonight.
And
If we could arrange it, would you go back and be mayor again?
Oh, of course not.
all right, and the
It's
guy
out of
who
question.
frequently tries to take over the program by asking the questions when he's not the host, he's just a guest, and he's supposed to shut up while I introduce him. It's amazing that he's on the set even right now, because he usually comes about 4 minutes after the top of the hour.
I've changed.
Because he's too
since
busy
my-
like sucking up to the news people so he can get more TV time.
Well, it doesn't work.
Legendary
Give it
political
up on that.
consultant and public relations guru, Mean Bill Green.
Good evening, John. It's just a real thrill to be here.
So what do you think of this set here? I can't tell how it looks on TV. I guess I'll have to look at the replay at
It
home.
looks-
I can't
it
tell
looks
if
great from here.
good,
I look
bad,
too
or-
bright. I'm sorry. This orange is really good.
Yeah, Halloween was over
Yeah,
a
I know.
couple days ago, Missy.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it looks good. You don't
Thank
look too bright.
You know,
And Green definitely doesn't look too bright.
No, he's in earth tones.
who's Mel Brooks' wife?
Mrs. Brooks?
No.
I mean, is there somebody famous as Mel Brooks'
You
wife? I didn't
look
know that.
exactly
Did you know
like
that?
her tonight.
Oh, well.
Is she a hot-looking
Yeah,
man?
Yes,
she
and
ain't
why
bad.
can't I?
Yeah, you
why
look-
can't
you
I?
look good tonight.
Why can't
She's
I
an
think of who
actress.
she is?
She's
I know who
Mrs.
she is.
Robinson.
I don't know.
It's Mrs. Robinson from
The actress who played the
Graduate.
original Mrs.
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Anne Bancroft.
Do you know?
You look like Anne Bancroft.
I look
you
like
do.
Anne Bancroft.
The hair, the recent gray.
You know,
I don't know why it's there.
There is. There's
Sam's
gray.
laughing at her son is
Why
laughing
are
at
you
the
laughing at
Right,
my
his son is laughing at the reference to a little bit of gray, a touch of gray.
Yes.
Well,
Keep
I
your
think
mouth
it's
shut, Sam.
quite handsome.
I'm
Thank
going
you
to
very
see the
much.
You
graduate.
do. You look like
I don't
Anne
have-
Bancroft.
I don't
going
have
to
a gray hair in my head.
No, you
No,
don't.
you don't. Oh, you look, Sophie.
By the way, Sophie, my
for
buddy said-
45 looks great.
Yeah, for 45.
You look
Thanks.
great.
My buddies at Azazu Salon are still dying to give you they say they can improve upon this incredible beauty somehow by giving you a makeover. Are you
I
interested?
know, I know.
What do they want to do to her?
I don't know. They want
I don't
to work
either.
her over, take her in their magic booth, slap her around, and turn her upside down, and then
I'll
out
tell you,
comes the new
John,
Sophie. I don't know.
That's like giving a fish a bicycle. I don't think they have a shot at doing anything for me.
But I understand, Sophie had some coiffure advice for you before the show
Yes, she
started.
did. She told me I had to grow my hair longer and stop doing it. It's a little shorter now, and it's caked with gel. You don't like it this way.
don't like
You
it?
like the
I
old,
I like
fluffier,
the old, yes.
big-headed mushroom
Oh,
look.
yes.
What's the
10
diff-
years off your life.
You mean this makes me look
Cutting.
older? The longer the
Yes,
hair, the younger I
yes,
look.
Absolutely.
But the longer it's actually grayer, the longer it is.
Yes, but it's
look
fuller.
great in
It's an
gray.
improvement. Well, what the hell? What do I know?
Well, I don't know.
So
All right,
it's one person's opinion.
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to avoid politics tonight because we're going to be obsessing on it next week. And the first thing we're going to talk about when we come back on Night Talk Free for All Night with this esteemed panel on the first night of the new set is the 10th Street bypass. Should it be a park? Or is it another boneheaded blunder by the madcap leprechaun who had the nerve to replace our beloved mayor on the set? Back in a moment on Night Talk Free for All Night. Stay with us.
Night Talk is sponsored in part by The Advisors, your retirement and estate planning specialists.
I don't know about that, but anyhow, I really need somebody to advise me because whatever they offered me, I took. And I don't
Ladies and
know.
gentlemen, we're
Like
talking
a babe
about
in the woods.
we are talking about the commercial enterprises on Night Talk Free for All Night that have been ripping off the beloved former mayor.
Will you
She
stop
deserved
now,
thousands
don't
of dollars for a commercial. They give her a couple of acorns and some peanuts.
Well,
And Bill Green is going to be your agent. So if you have any commercial offers for the former mayor, who would be probably the best, most effective spokesperson in the history of the time.
Well, there's a provision
wait a
of
minute,
providing the price is right.
Yeah,
Call
now,
Bill
wait a
Green.
minute. Wait a minute. How much is Green saying he's going to take? What's
Yeah,
your-
what's
I
your
don't
percentage?
know. He might rip me off.
Yeah, that's right. You be
think?
careful.
That's definitely, because he is a Republican, let's
That's
face
right.
it. Yeah.
No, we can run it all by your attorney.
I
We
don't
got to
know.
involve her attorney as well, for crying out loud.
She doesn't have an attorney.
I don't
I'll
even
take
have an
care of the
attorney.
attorney.
All right.
I'll take care of all that.
Well, you got to watch it. You got to pick the right attorney. I've learned
No,
that much in life.
Well,
Anyway, let's get to the first topic, which is the 10th Street bypass.
Why do they call it a bypass?
I don't even know. It's just a road by
But
the
it's a
river.
great- it's
Do
a
you
by-
guys even know what I'm talking about?
It's the road
course
that
we do.
Goes to the Strip District.
It goes to the Strip
Right.
District.
It's right by the water.
Bypass
Yeah.
the center city
That's right.
traffic.
Okay.
That's
That's
right.
why we have it.
Okay,
And you
why?
can
To
get-
make it a park is a really stupid
Mayor Murphy, if you haven't
idea.
heard, wants to make it a park, or is at least floating the trial balloon to make it a park.
Yes.
You know, you do see all those poor people congregating there along the river wanting some green space. So I'm kidding. No, there's no reason for a park there.
Well, I like the idea of a park up and down the river because who doesn't? But that's the way I used to get
There
to the Strip
already
District.
is a
Right,
park.
and it takes me twice as long to get to the Strip District now, and it annoys
Since
me.
it's been
so-
closed, since the 10th Street bypass has been closed
And they
for the last
closed
2
it
years.
because the convention center
For construction.
yeah.
That's right.
Right.
And now, if you close that and you close the 16th Street Bridge, which is going to be down for six months, I don't know how anybody gets
Well,
to
he
the
said
Strip
they're not going to
on
close the
either
16th
way.
Street Bridge while they're...
It's closing
I
Monday.
mean, he says they're not going to close the 10th Street bypass while the 16th Street Bridge is closed.
It's closed right now, today.
Then, well, they're not going to close the 10th Street bypass then. Let's let somebody who really
Well, it
knows
isn't-
something
it
weigh
isn't
in.
open.
well, no, I agree. I think it's crazy to put any more green space in. I think we need industry. I think we need an entrance to the Strip. I think that's crazy, and I'm going to tell them so. I'm going to China
Yes,
next week.
You're going to China with Tom
Yes.
Murphy?
Don't you
Yeah.
read the paper, for God's sake? She's going to China.
That'll be a real long flight for Mayor Murphy.
Yeah.
I think so, and I will tell him that I think that's wild, absolutely wild.
We're going to
bunch of-
China and back in a week, right?
8 days, actually.
All
yes.
right, let me ask you this then, Sophie.
Yeah,
Now,
howdy.
you should go because, hell, you're not even in the government anymore, so nobody can accuse you of anything.
That's exactly right.
But when
Why
local
does-
government officials go to China, nothing ever happens. There will be no Chinese, there won't be like Chinese restaurants or whatever, I'm not going to do it. You know, laundries popping up all over Pittsburgh all of a sudden because the mayor went to China. There will be no additional economic development. These things never work out. Mike DeWitt had like a bureau in Yugoslavia or somewhere. Poland, was it? All right.
Yeah.
Well, you see,
How
John,
many DeWitt does it
County
take to
office
screw up
in
a
Poland.
political
Right.
career?
problem is you never hear the good things that happen. You only hear the bloopers. I've got 1 million bloopers.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. I can tell
We'll
you
have to
something.
debrief you on that. All right.
Anytime.
But do you really think any of the Chinese people
Yes.
are going to throw economic development over here?
I think it all helps a little bit. I think
Oh, you just
there's
get a free trip to
sister,
China.
Yeah, well, that helps. There's a sister city in China, and I think we need that relationship. I think it goes a long, long way. I've been to China before, maybe in my other life, 10 or 12 years ago, and I think it does a lot of good.
Well, at least Mayor Murphy can look at him eye to eye.
Well, she could.
It will-
He's not very tall, is he? I don't know.
What?
They say, oh, Mayor Murphy.
Mayor Masloff will be a great ambassador for the city of Pittsburgh, and
Well, that's true.
the Chinese honor elderly and respect people that are a little bit older, and I think that
That
Ms.
is true.
Masloff
Okay, so we
will just
taxpayers
wow
forego
them.
all this money so they
No,
can
it's-
suck up to Sophie because she
no,
deserves
no,
it?
no, it's
She
not
deserves
taxpayers'
it, but
money.
she's going to be taking money from their
It's
pocket.
not
It's
taxpayers'
not
money?
taxpayers'
Oh, well,
money.
then I
It's
stand
private.
corrected.
There are only a few of us who are having our expenses paid, and they're being paid by private industry.
Even the madcap leprechaun Mayor Murphy is private?
Well, I don't know. I don't
They don't know about
his.
him,
Yeah, I don't
but
know
yours
about
is private. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, good.
Absolutely.
So who else is going?
Well, I'm not sure. Baru is going, of course.
The economic development.
Well,
They'll
that's the
understand him over
purpose.
there.
How do you pronounce his first name?
Mulu.
No, but it's more than Mulu.
Oh, yeah, well,
Mulu
we've
guy.
shortened it.
Mulu's his second name. Isn't Mulu
No.
his second
No,
name?
that's his
Peru
first
is
name.
his.
Peru is
Mulu Gata. Would you know how to
I
pronounce it?
know I've forgotten, to be honest. I know who you're talking about, and I know he's the economic development guru, but I've never
Mulu
memorized
Baru,
his
and where's
name.
he from?
Mulu Baru?
I want to say Nigeria. Yeah.
I appointed him, and I
See,
can't appoint
we don't even
him.
know how to pronounce a foreign-sounding
appointed
name,
him.
and we're sending people to China.
He has a very heavy accent, and he's
Yes, he does.
he's a
understand
wonderful,
that.
charming man. It's just it's very hard to understand him in a meeting.
All right, but we're getting back to the 10th Street bypass. What's wrong with the mayor wanting to have a nice little park by the river? You know, all
all the
San
reasons we
Antonio,
just
all these
said.
river cities have parks by them, and
The
they
river in
say,
San
There's
Antonio
a
is about a
park.
foot
There-
wide.
Listen, John, the mayor's
don't we need
big.
more park space?
The mayor's big on bike trails and parks
Jogging
and
paths
jogging
and things.
paths and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of what's a priority to him. But I don't think he's going to get away with this. I think there'll be a
No.
lot of opposition.
Just because the strip district businesses are too angry about it? And
Well, they should be. They're justified. They're a big thing in the city. They're big taxpayers. They're big business.
That's
Well, they
a
are.
hot,
They
that's
employ a lot
hot
of
and
people.
coming place in the
Yeah,
city. and
after
closing
dark,
off
it's a real night spot and a
Yeah,
lot of clubs.
exactly.
But to the point that people come from the South Hills, take that bypass to get out there. Everybody does. I mean, in downtown, we used to go. Our offices are downtown. We used to frequently go down to the Strip for lunch. We haven't been able to do that in the last 2 years because you can't get back, and the bypass is closed. And
Well,
no
you
one
can
wants
get
to
back.
fight
It just takes you a while.
No one wants to fight the Penn and Liberty Avenue traffic. That's why we build a bypass. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at. That's why we're supposed to have this. I think you can take a portion of that. There's a portion about 20 feet wide from the river's edge inward that you could green space easily and still keep this road in place. So I don't think that whole thing. And what would that cost? I mean, God forbid, we just paid $48 million for the North Shore Park alone. What would this cost? And where's that money coming from?
Sophie, I see you being critical of the mayor on this, but I thought you guys were buds now.
We are buddies, but sometimes there are things that we
that doesn't
don't
mean he doesn't
agree on.
screw up, yeah.
Yeah, there's some things we don't agree
Long
on.
trip to China. We're going to give you a whole bunch of other things to take along if you run out of subjects that you can raise with his honor.
No, I think he'll avoid me. He'll sit at the
You're on
other
the
end of
same
the plane.
plane.
On the other end, though.
Are you in first class?
I don't know. Somebody else is making all the arrangements.
hope
I
he
have
is.
no
It
Better
idea.
be. God, I hope they don't put you in code.
Is it a private aircraft or a
No,
commercial
no,
regular
no.
aircraft?
Oh, no, it's a commercial, of course. I don't know very much about it, to tell you the truth.
No? Well, why would you need to know anything about it? You go into China. Yeah.
That's all.
Wing it. Fake it.
I'll
Make
tell you,
it
I
as you go along.
debated about going because, I may not be a spring chicken, although I'm pretty feisty.
Yeah.
I hesitated about going.
Why?
Because you're trapped into playing with Tom Murphy.
No,
for God knows
because,
how long.
You're far
I'm not a
away
spring,
from
I told you I'm not a spring chicken. Although, as I said, I'm pretty feisty. But I
feisty.
hesitated, but then I decided I might probably be the last, so I decided to take advantage of it.
How long a flight is that? Have they told you?
Well,
It's a long flight.
yeah, it's 24 hours, although
Hello.
it's broken up. We go from here to Los Angeles, and then from Los Angeles to Hong Kong, and then from, not Hong Kong, Taiwan or someplace, and then to Beijing. That's where we're heading for. But that's not let's talk about the city.
All right, ladies and
Let's
gentlemen, when we
talk
come
about
back on Night Talk Free for All Night, we're going to talk about the city, damn it.
Yes.
Stay with us on the Pittsburgh Cable News Channel. Back in a moment.
Transportation for Night Talk is provided by Star Limousine Service, the highest quality vehicles and the most professional service. Call 724-776-0044.
You weren't around.
Back on Night Talk Free for All Night, it's the premiere of the new Night Talk graphics and the new Night Talk set. That there would be a new Night Talk graphic. This big thing here would be a new Night Talk
How's
set.
that a new graphic? That looks the same to me.
It's very similar, but it's actually quite different. I mean, I'd have to show you the old one to show you the difference. Just
But
take
it
my
had
word
a
for it.
moon and it
I
had-
know, but this is different, cooler stuff
cleaner.
swimming around behind it.
Gotcha.
And it's a darker shade of blue.
All right, okay.
Boy.
I don't appreciate that kind of thing.
Where's the Burton Morris stuff?
The Burton Morris stuff is down temporarily. If we decide we need more Burton Morris stuff, we're going to call Burton Morris and ask him, and then we're going to see what the boss thinks of it
Can
up
I
there.
take them home?
It's a constantly
In a
evolving,
temporary
changing
time?
process. No, I'm hoping to take them home. Burton, if you're out there, make a donation. But Sophie, before we left on Free For All Night, you said, I want to talk about the city. What do you want to say about it? What's wrong with it? What do we need to fix?
Well, of course, if we had more money, there'd be a lot of things to fix. There's no question about it. But
Where the hell all the money go?
well, we never had any. I mean, we always had budget troubles all the time. Of course, I cut the taxes when I was there.
Yes.
I cut the wage tax to 0.5%,
Yes, you did.
and we managed, and we balanced the budget that year. We balanced it every year after that. But that's the problem. We don't have enough money for everything. And with the money we have, I think we're doing great. All we need to do is keep more people in Pittsburgh. And that's not a profound observation.
No, and nobody knows how to do that, though. We keep talking about it every year, and they keep leaving every year.
It's not a profound observation.
Well,
We don't allow profound
at the
observations on the
borders,
show.
don't
Yes,
let
we
them
could.
go.
Tackle it at the borders. Now, you never explored that little proposition, did you? That's not a bad idea.
You know, one of the frightening things is that we as public taxpayers, if you look at it, pay for about 16 years of education for young people through high school, and then we subsidize community colleges or state-related colleges. In some way, shape, or form, the state of Pennsylvania, all of us help kids get through elementary, secondary, and college. And then at the end of that 16 years, we would hope that they stay here to help continue that process and help others through a 16-year. Unfortunately, at the end of that 16 years, they're going to Phoenix or they're going to whatever. I don't know how you stop that, but I'm just observing
You
the fact
have
that,
jobs for them here
well,
is
that's
how you
right.
stop it.
That makes it. And I guess why are we spending this 16 years of effort if we're not getting a return? So we must be investing in companies to hire these kids after their 16 years. Again, it's just an observation that I think matches what Sophie said. If we're doing all this for education, then why don't we do something to help businesses be created and stay here?
Well, I thought we were doing that. Aren't we offering them incentives up the wazoo and tax breaks?
I think we help businesses plenty, don't we?
I do too.
We still have the second highest business taxes in the country, statewide. That is. I think.
Well, we had a Republican legislature, Republican governors.
Well, they're the tax and
and
spend people, you know.
I guess they are. Well, how come they didn't lower those?
They were even higher. I mean, we got to the second highest. We were the highest. We impose a lot on our employers, and in the city, you know, it's very hard to keep an office in the city. I mean, my own parking is like $4,000 just to park in my building a year. My office space costs, you know, whatever it costs per square foot.
Do you know Bill had to let his chauffeur go? It's a horrible, sad
No,
state
the
of
mayor
affairs.
wants him to jog to work. He doesn't want him to have.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Why don't you jog to work, you lazy
I
Republican
live 20
businessman?
miles out of
That's
the
a
city.
good.
Well, that's
Murphy can jog
big
20
deal.
miles.
Yeah, well, I can't. Okay? That's it.
either.
That's the way it is.
Too lazy.
I'm too lazy. You got it.
That answers
I
it.
thought the
mention-
Democrats were lazy.
Republicans don't jog.
We don't
No.
jog. We have people jog for us. We hire people to jog. Don't you understand?
All right, Lynn, switching subjects radically, Lynn was ranting on her show this morning about these checkout lines at the grocery store. You think it's
The
weird segment?
self-service
Right, where you do it
checkout.
yourself and there's nobody helping you.
Have you seen that, Sophie?
I've seen them, but I'm afraid of them.
Well, sure you are.
I beat it right past them because
Well,
I know.
sure you are.
You know, I have a hard time operating my remote control
I
on
know,
TV.
me too.
So I get past them in a big hurry.
But you explain to me how. I mean, this used to be there was a job. There are people there.
Right.
They check you out. They
Right.
bag your groceries. Now they're asking us to do that work.
if you know how. And then,
Well, if
even
you know
bag,
how,
too.
but I thought maybe you got a discount if you did their work for them.
Yeah,
That's what you
I
said.
heard
You
that.
ought to get a
I thought that was a
discount.
great idea. What an incentive to use that machine.
Yeah, then maybe I would.
Yeah.
Sure, kick something back. But I found a great flaw in the whole operation.
Fly in the ointment.
Yeah.
What's the...
Well, you know, I mean, I don't know about you, but I get, you know, you get some apples, you know, you have apples to check out, you have fresh produce and stuff. You've got to put it on the scale. You've got to find what the price
Right.
per pound is, plug it in, and
Yeah, how do they know you're doing the right fruit or vegetables? That's what I've always wondered.
that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
very
You'd always
good
find the
point.
cheapest, and then
I
you'd-
mean, if the box
could weigh-
pears are
right.
more than the...
Exactly.
Well, how do they know if I've got Bosk or Bartlett's in there? So it's on the honor system.
Well,
and
now
you
that we've
know
told all
there's-
of Western Pennsylvania,
I'm telling you.
Giant
you know,
Eagle will find a way.
Those of you who are not honorable, well, tell me, how could
I don't know. I
you really
agree.
attempt to get out for yourself on those
No,
machines.
no, no, I've never gotten in that line because like you, I'm
afraid of
thinking,
them.
why the heck should I do your work if you're not giving me a reason to do it? And then I realized...
Usually there's no one in that line, and that's a quicker way out.
Yeah, and my girlfriend has become adept at it. I can't believe it. I won't do it.
Now-
If I'm with her, I will bag for her, but I don't even want to bother trying to figure out the damn...
I know, me-
touch
I
screen.
thought we had a service economy, right? Is this what America's come to? We are a service economy. But if the service is all self-service, I mean, it's turning
think-
more and
I
more
think
into
as I-
you do it yourself.
As I understand
How's
that decision,
service?
as I understand the decision to go with those machines, it's because the employers were never able to get a number of young people to do those jobs anymore, bagging and cashiering.
Listen, there's a lot of old people who back into the workforce because they don't have enough money to eat, and so there's old people who can bag.
Well, we're in that transition then, but that's why those machines were put in, as was explained to me.
I thought it was just to eliminate labor as always.
I think it's to eliminate labor.
No, it was, honestly, it was they couldn't find enough kids to man all the cashiers.
And ultimately, there won't be any human beings there, as usual.
I would argue that I don't think there are any human beings there now if you deal with
pretty soon
somebody.
they'll have us come in shifts to stock the darn shelves.
Did you use that this morning?
No, I didn't say that.
That's a good one,
But-
though. You should have used that. I like that.
All right, so it sounds like the four of us will never venture
Well, is
into
this
the
just,
actual...
I need to know, I just shop at Giant Eagle. Is this applied to everybody else?
I don't know. The Giant
other
Eagle in
places?
Westview is where I see them. I don't know. Where
I
you
see it
guys-
at a
Shop and
Giant
Save
Eagle.
I do
have
too.
them,
I
or
see it
I don't
at
know.
Giant
do
Eagle.
any
And
of
only
those
the only Giant Eagle is in
Foodland?
Edgewood that I've seen them. I haven't seen them in
Okay,
locally.
no, well, they're at Parkway Center where I sometimes stop in. They're not in Squirrel Hill.
No.
They wouldn't put them in Squirrel Hill. They got too many cantankerous old folks there. Right.
But while we're talking, all right, so do you guys, let me ask you, since I've started ranting on the air about surly checkout people, they seem to be friendlier. Maybe it's just my imagination.
It's your imagination.
But it may be. But do you guys run
But see,
into
when I
lovely
check
checkout
myself,
people or
if I
surly
check my
checkout?
own self out, I'll at least smile at me.
Yeah.
And I'll
thank
ask
me.
me if I'm having a nice day.
And thank me for
And
doing
I
that.
won't talk on the, I won't talk to somebody else who's checking themselves out about, their hot date last night. I'll attend to
Well,
business.
if you're always checking yourself out, you probably don't ever have many hot dates. I'm thinking. Hey.
Oh,
Anyway, but do you guys find the surly checkout people?
Yes, I always find them.
And what do they
I
say?
present-
How are they surly? Did they
Well,
not
I
make eye
usually
contact?
start off being surly, and that usually puts them in a
Well,
certain
that's
mood.
not fair then. If you're
Well,
surly, then...
Okay, well, but they should still be smiling.
Do you know the neatest thing about some of these checkout people are the nails? The fingernails. Have you ever seen...
You mean like they're long and well
Those
manicured?
long ones, because how do you ever see them, how they have to depress the keys? They sort of do it like, some of them do it with knuckles. Have you ever seen one of the knuckle ones? They do it with knuckles,
I'm
because you
talking about-
can't, it
I've
makes
seen
you...
them, yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, no, go ahead.
That was off
I don't know how
subject.
they get around in
it was on
life.
subject.
I don't know how they get around in life.
No,
With
with
those
those
12
talons.
inches.
Yeah.
No,
With those
I
12
don't
I
inches.
know
either.
people like
How do
that.
you do anything?
Chinese emperors used to have those nails, and
Well, then
it made
Sophie
them.
can check that out when she
Yeah,
goes
it
over
made
there.
them, helpless.
You may
They
have
couldn't
known
do
one.
it. They couldn't do anything. Maybe they could open a,
They didn't
bottle
have
of
to
wine.
do anything.
Why is that when nails grow real long, they start to do corkscrews?
I don't have the foggiest.
Have you noticed that?
I have not noticed that.
Well, it's true.
But this is what I'm talking about when it comes to surly checkout people. Like, you're checking me out, and,
Right.
and you say hello, and I'm like, yeah, hey, Bill over there, I'm going to get tomorrow later to a strip there and do some
That's
stuff.
right.
Beep, beep, and beep, beep, $25, please. They don't look at you, they
Well,
don't
that's
talk
not-
to you, they
yes,
don't
right.
communicate with you.
They're
This is at
impolite.
the Westview Giant Eagle. I think we...
No, not necessarily. No, all over the city, and not to, shop and save, and I don't know.
The world is impolite. I mean, the culture is
Well,
becoming ruder and ruder.
Did it used to be
That's
polite
true.
when you were way back in the early days?
We have created a more tolerance for rudeness. We've created more tolerance for violence. I think we've created a whole new, not very pleasant world in the last 20 years.
I would agree.
That's why the commentary tonight reveals the fact that we're not going in hell in a handbasket. We're in fact already in
In
hell.
it.
Yes.
That's right.
But Sophie, were the grocery store people nice decades ago? Not that you're the only one who would know. We would all
Frankly,
know.
I don't do much grocery shopping.
I
hate
see.
to cook.
She doesn't cook.
I
Oh,
don't
all right.
cook, and I don't bother very much. But
You
when
have-
I do, I have no problems.
They probably fawn all over
I
you
pay them-
anyway, you're
No,
Sophie.
they don't. I'm no different than anybody else. Matter of fact, I stay out of grocery stores because I always meet 50 people who have complaints.
Still, they're complaining?
And they think
They
that
still think you're the mayor?
No, they know I'm not the mayor, but they want me to tell them the right person to go and see.
You mean you're not the mayor?
Well,
Get out of here.
and so I stay out of places. Like, it takes me an hour to walk a block.
What a pain in the neck. So being a public figure and a former mayor, it's a pain in the neck.
No, it's up flat.
That's actually why you want to go to China, because nobody knows who the hell
That's
are.
right.
Just roam
Nobody
the
knows me
streets.
in
And,
China.
yeah.
I hope you
But
take
I
all
don't
those,
have any
pack all
problems.
those complaints you have them for you and Tom on the plane, so you don't run out of anything to talk about.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on Night Talk Free for All Night, and we're going to come back in a moment with our Sterling panel. Stay with us on PCNC. Ladies and gentlemen, Monday on the program, unfortunately because this is election season, we see much too much of Mean Bill Green, but it should be highly entertaining. The Election Eve Monday Night Talk, Mean Bill Green versus Tommy the Spitman Flaherty. You won't want to miss that. Back in a moment with more Free for All Night. Stay with us. Back on Night Talk Free for All Night, we've been so far tackling and exploring the frivolous. But here's a horrible, disgusting topic that maybe has been beaten to death, but let's beat it to death one more time. The so-called teabagging at Central Catholic.
Oh, my God.
And where, you know, the kid allegedly rubbed his genitals up against another kid, the football players in the locker room. All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody hadn't been paying attention. So does anybody have any take on that, or are you so disgusted you don't even feel like commenting on it?
What are we supposed to say?
Should they have prevented them from playing in the football playoffs?
Yes, the diocese did the right thing, but obviously the administration did not, and everything happened a little too late.
Isn't it good that the Catholic Church finally gets it and realizes that it's no longer in a position to tolerate such things and is taking action?
Well, I think that I agree with Lynn on both what she just said. I heard Donald World the other day, and I thought he made absolute sense. But, you know, where were they doing this when the priests were molesting children? I mean, how many years does it take for these guys to get it, the Catholic Church to get it?
That's right.
And now it took 6 months or whatever for this one to come about.
That's right.
And I think they did act properly, but I agree. It should have happened immediately after the incident was known.
And I'm not so sure that heads shouldn't roll over there at Central Catholic.
If it's true that a coach said what goes in the locker room stays in the locker room and he knew about it, which I don't know if that's true, but that's among the speculation.
That was always the old macho thing. Yeah. You know, every sports, you know, has that. What goes in the locker room stays in the locker room. I mean, that's where everybody was raised, you know. But I thought it was badly handled, badly done. Everything that's just wrong about it.
Right.
Sophie?
Well, I agree with what's been said, and I think the church did the right thing. I respect Worrell, and I think he makes the final decision.
Oh, sure.
I think when any of things happen, and I think he's a great guy, and I agree. But it's just too bad that it happened. That's what's sad.
And you know what else is sad? This kid, the kid who was assaulted in this way.
Been ostracized.
I mean, he is ostracized. He's had to change schools. I mean, he is victimized the rest of his life here until he escapes Pittsburgh. Yeah. There's another young person you can wave goodbye to.
Yeah. It was pretty ugly.
Yeah, and yet the only outrage, or the most passionate outrage, seemed to be on the part of the parents who were mad that their kids didn't get to play in the damn football game. Do we care too much about football in Western Pennsylvania?
We forget why we got kids in school. We got kids in school to get an education, learn discipline, all this stuff. They pay a lot of money to go to Central Catholic. You know, this isn't just a public school. This is a school where people choose to go to and pay money to go to. And I think the parents are missing the fact that football is secondary to these kids' education. That's
and when people, berate the younger generation, it's so clear from the parents' reaction in this case that a lot of kids don't have a chance of growing up right because they don't have parents who have a sense of what is right and what is wrong. These parents are not good parents because this was a real good teachable moment for their children and they taught them the wrong thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little...
No, I agree with you.
I do too. I agree with you.
That's a little harsh, but I mean...
I don't think so. I think most parents suck. I do. I just don't think most parents are very good at their jobs.
I couldn't disagree more.
Well, how would you know? You're not a parent.
I am a parent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He happens to be a grandparent.
Yes, I'm a grandparent as well.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. John is a grandparent.
It's a sad
John is a grandparent.
You know that my daughter-in-law is pregnant again?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, for crying out loud.
That's wonderful. What are you complaining about?
I don't know. I just feel old. Every time they have another grandchild, I feel older.
Lynn is a great parent.
I understand that.
I watched Lynn go through the adoption process 12 years ago, whenever it was.
10.
We were both at TAE Radio, and she was a real pinko commie lesbian, and I was a moderate Republican.
Yeah. And what happened?
Huh?
She moved to the center, and you moved to the right. You've got the canned goods in the bunker in the back.
Yeah, I do.
Tommy
at the house.
Yeah.
I do.
Right.
I got a V12 rocket. And she's a great parent, and I have no doubt you've been a great parent. I know a lot of people in my office and so on who have kids, they're great parents. I don't, I just won't want everybody in that same.
Not everybody
same
said most.
club.
That could just be 51%.
Well, you said most parents suck.
And I believe that.
Why do you think
There's
that's
a
a
lot
little
of bad
strong?
ones out
Of
there.
course, I think I'm a good parent. I've
you are.
got children, and I
Absolutely.
think I'm a good parent. I think my kids have had to grow up with the right standards.
Some of the bad parents are actually the ones that appear to be very conscientious. My problem with some of these parents today are the ones that are too involved. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
They never
Yes, I do.
let their children fail. They never, and they're, these are the children that are over-programmed and all this stuff. These are, these overly conscientious parents who I'm sure think of themselves as absolutely God's gift to the parenting
And they're the ones
world.
that are running the kids from soccer
And
to
they're-
tennis to piano.
And they're
to
creating a sort of, this treadmill that children are on. And then for a parent like me who thinks that's ludicrous, it's not what childhood is about, they create an environment in which you either sort of start playing their stupid game or your child falls behind. They have created a competitiveness in school and for young children that was never there before.
No, it wasn't. I think you're right there. The parents are competing against the parents. It's
just
it's really.
grotesque. I mean,
and when we're talking about a little kid, we're talking 8 to
No,
9,
and no one
10,
will ever pull any of
like
those
that.
parents into CYS. Those are the great parents.
Oh, yeah.
And they drive me insane.
I judge parents on how annoying their kids are, and I find that most kids are annoying. Now, I'm not just
Yeah, but
saying this
you-
because you're here. No, wait till I finish. Sam is one of the least annoying kids I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, but
I'm
what about-
thinking,
yeah, but
therefore,
what-
you must be a good
Yeah,
parent.
but what about his mother?
His mother's
She's one of the
annoying,
most
but
annoying
somehow
people
she's
I've
still a
ever known
good
in my
parent
life.
and has raised
But
her
somehow,
kid right.
yeah, I don't know how she did that.
Well,
How'd she do that, sir?
It's a funny thing, sometimes they're wonderful parents and their kids turn out bad and vice
That's
versa.
true.
Yeah.
There's
I think
no way
Sam
of
is
knowing
rebelling
who's-
against me by being unannoying. That's
see.
That's his way. He's
How,
distancing himself.
how do you know what's a good parent? If your kids turn out, it's a matter of luck.
I think
maybe
that's
you're
I
right.
think there's
Most
a
of the
lot of
time,
things, isn't
because
that
I
the
know
truth?
a lot of great parents whose kids are bums. And
That's true. And parenting,
vice versa, yeah.
That's true. Parenting is about the most humbling experience there is.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the last word on parenting. Now, let's get to another one of Lynn's rants. She hears voices in her head when she goes through the
New
Fort Pitt
refurbished
tunnel.
Fort Pitt tunnel outbound.
And why is that? Just
I don't
elaborate
hear
on that.
voices in my head.
No?
There's something about the spacing of the lights and the lights that they have in there. Haven't you noticed that as you go through, all the cars in front of you, the light is bouncing, constantly pulsing off of their side mirrors? You haven't noticed this?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
Yeah, me
What's
neither.
wrong
Lynn.
with your head?
She hears voices
Sorry,
in her head. Yeah.
Well,
think
what
so.
happens is I actually got a migraine headache once. I got and I went on the air, and because I was on my way to work, I went on the air and complained about it. Well, people started calling up. A woman who has Meniere's disease, which is some kind of a seizure disorder, says, I can't go through there. And people who have epileptic kind of seizures,
Right.
or people who easily have, visually get disturbed,
Right.
It's like a strobe light effect. And there's a lot of people that are going through that tunnel who are in
And they
trouble.
never had trouble with the old lighting.
No.
It's just this new lighting.
No, you watch. You start looking.
Well, now that
And
you've
I go
now that
through
you've
now.
said this, I'll
I
probably
go through now.
stop
and
in the
I
middle
put
of
on
the damn
I put
thing.
on sunglasses. It helps a little bit, and I only look at the center line. If I look up, I'm in trouble. And now that can't make me I'm not as safe a driver going through that tunnel anymore.
On a good day.
On a
You're
good
not a
day.
safer driver.
I am not alone. Cabbies called up and said that
Really?
they warn people they're taken out to the airport. You might, I don't know, but you might want to close your eyes as we go through this tunnel.
No,
I never
I've not
noticed
heard
that.
any of this since we reopened
I
the
don't know.
tunnel.
I always do you
reopened
remember
in
the
August.
Woody Allen movie, Everything You Always Want to Know About Sex But We're Afraid to Ask?
Yeah.
I think that's the one where a bunch of guys in little white suits play little sperm.
They're
and they
little
go through
sperm
the big
waiting to
long
go
tube.
out the- yeah.
When I'm in the tunnel, that's what I always feel like, when a little sperm, because it's so, you're just going through it and everybody's...
Well, actually, I called Joe Gratta over at the Post-Gazette, and they got on it, and apparently, it is something that is bothering.
Well, how could they correct that? What
There's
do you
nothing
think's
they can
wrong?
correct, and in fact, the lighting in the tunnel is federally, I guess that is the federal
Federal standards.
More evidence that George W. Bush is trying to kill us. Let's take a break, come back, more Free for All Night and Cullen on the Pittsburgh Cable News Channel. Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank Desmond and Associates. Yes, Desmond and Associates, the wonderful people who designed this new NightTalk set that we're all enjoying so much. They're an architect in town. They're wonderful. They're great. They're Desmond and Associates. If you need a new television set in your, and I don't mean a set like a little thing you're watching, but a thing for people to talk on, Desmond and Associates is the architect for you. Because I had to thank them. I should have thanked them right away.
They're not showing the set. Do a wide shot.
Here's
there.
the set.
There's the set.
Was that?
Thank you very much.
Did you pay for this set?
Apparently not. I think you just
Desmond
did.
and Associates. If you need an architectural
Was this a
firm,
trade out?
Desmond and Associates.
Everything's a
I
trade.
didn't, just
Who
wanted
gives
to-
him a-
Sophie, could you pitch for, like, if Bill Green gets you the job for Desmond and Associates, could you give him a plug, you know, get like a pitch or something?
I'd give him an IOU.
No, but I mean, can you do it now?
Who?
Desmond
No,
and
the guys who
Associates,
did
just say
it.
something good about him.
Oh, sure, they're
Not for
wonderful.
free.
I don't even know them.
That's how wonderful they are. You don't even have to know these architects to know
I
how
believe in
wonderful they are.
saying something good about everybody.
Good.
There you go.
Well, except Mayor Murphy.
No, I think
What do
he's
you have good to
pretty
say about him?
I think he's got a tough job because I've been
That's
there. and
not
I
good.
know.
That's not saying anything good about him.
Well, I think he's.
How about his hair? Do you like his hair?
I never noticed.
You know, come to think of it, neither did I can't. What is his hair like?
Is it
Short, tan, you know, Irish tan.
He's a handsome man, isn't he?
You know,
I would
he's
say
very,
so.
very. It is very Irish. His
Yeah.
hair is
He's
very,
not
very
handsome.
Irish.
He's got the Irish temper. He's not handsome?
Watch this commercial he's doing for Rendell that he shot in the mayor's office in the
Yes, and you know
in the
what?
conference room.
Well, everybody did it.
Oh, I'm not criticizing that.
Everybody
No.
did it in the conference room. It's easier for them to do it in the conference room than to go to a studio. You did
Sure.
a commercial. That was ridiculous.
No, I'm just saying that's if you see that spot, you'll see
Oh,
Tom's
Sophie,
hair.
you thought it was ridiculous that he was criticized for using a city hall conference room for a campaign ad. Well, let me ask you about that. I always thought it was. I don't care if Al Gore was making calls from the vice presidential office
Yeah,
for
of
course.
fundraisers.
What, he should go out to a phone booth?
Yeah.
Senators and congresspeople do.
Of course. And
Well,
I-
They do.
They
They
should be
literally
able
go
to.
across
I
the
think
street.
I did it too.
to
I don't
another
remember
phone.
whether I did or not, but
It's
I probably
reform,
did.
Lynn. It's
probably
what
made
all
that-
you guys wanted.
Sophie, you
That
think
was
you
reform.
probably did make some calls for money and stuff on the.
Oh, sure.
At City Hall?
I can't remember specifically, but I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, you have no. What is it? There's no controlling.
Is there a
legal
statute of
authority or-
limitations on
Yeah,
this?
there's a
I don't
statute.
know.
That's right.
You better watch yourself.
The DA is a Democrat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of people who want to protest horrible things of political nature, Bill Neal, the 65-year-old man arrested for
Yeah.
protesting when President Bush was in town at, where the hell was he?
Neville
Neville Island?
Neville Island, somewhere.
He beat the disorderly conduct charge.
Sure he did, as well he should have.
Yes.
Of course.
Isn't it ridiculous that he was charged with disorderly conduct in the first place?
Yeah.
Who charged him?
Some local yokel
The local
police guy.
local police
The
department.
Neville Island Police
Right.
Department.
That's right.
On the other hand,
And I
and
like
I'm
the Neville
actually
Island
not.
Police
And
Department.
he
to tell you
wasn't
the truth.
dangerous. He didn't
No.
do anything good.
No, he just had a sign that they found offensive.
Yes.
So much for First Amendment rights to express yourself.
And it certainly
Where are we
wasn't
taking those
treason.
next?
Well, let me ask you this. We had a debate not long ago for the gubernatorial candidates, and there were some Green Party people yelling. Bill was there. It was in Squirrel Hill, right? Now, should those
community
people
center.
be allowed to scream and yell and disrupt debates? Is that free speech,
I
or is that a horrible
I
thing?
think it was improper behavior at the time. This was 1 hour that had been agreed to, and these people got into the audience, and then they made noise and were escorted out.
They were mad that third-party
They were
candidates weren't
mad,
included.
right? And this station decided that only if you did not show 10% of the polls, which is 5 less than what the federal government requires, you were not going to be on that debate. Just do it with the major parties, and they didn't like those rules, so they decided to disrupt the thing. I think that was just
isn't that-
bad behavior.
What do you think, Sophie? Should
I
they be
agree
able
with
to?
him.
Oh,
No,
you
I
agree,
agree with him. And that instance.
Oh, you were
I
there.
was
You
there.
were there.
Oh, you were there. That's right.
I was there, and I agree that they were disruptive. But this fellow who was picketing, I think he was harmless.
Yeah,
Well, he
wasn't doing anything.
And that was
Outside, he was not in the building.
well, that was another thing.
Well, the guy who was doing it outside witnessed about the administration trying to take it away.
By the Neville Island Police Department.
They put him up to it.
No, John McCroft does. He does that
Exactly.
at every
What
place
am I
the president
thinking? Of course
goes.
it would be
If you see
right after your show the other day.
Because of the INS.
it is.
All right, how about them Stillers? How about them Stillers?
Well, I think it's a 3-point spread for the Steelers on Sunday, and
I'm like to check that counter. I'm not an authority.
any Mr. Rooney stories?
Oh, I have a bunch
Yeah, the chief.
Yes. No, I can't think of it. I have notes that he wrote.
What do you mean nobody wants them?
I've
want him
offered
at
them
the-
to the family, and nobody wants them.
Jim,
No. Give them to the
To the
History
Heinz
Center.
History
Oh, all right.
Center.
I'm sorry. I'm always
The
thinking
History
commercial.
Center.
That's the problem.
Well, of course. I always thought that when he died, his heirs would sell the Steelers.
We're wrong.
they're
But
just
it's not,
taking the money
it's
and-
not impossible yet.
That's what's happening at Heinz Field. It's in the top 5. I can't keep the Cowboy stuff. It's in the top 5 of that extremely popular franchise in the world. So
As of Steelers today, the brother-in-laws, you know, you could figure out that relationship and how much who owned what.
Well, I think they're in the gentlemen, nobody cares, and that's why we're concluding this project.
let me down.
No. Well, it's cable. Our old rappers getting killed. I mean, did Bing Crawford all out a columnist or two? Put in the chief or didn't somebody? It is going hell in a welcome. We came up with nowhere. The devil was quite a George ways to make sure out of the war. Why is it probably? We did this for the other guy. Somebody freaked the lots. But by the end of the wall, in hell, room and it's used to your devils and made your killer. Not they did in that theater in Moscow. Where else in hell they spoke to house with Hitler, who is receiving compensation? Where else but in hell? Western Christine Aguirre and the 35 wannabes get to feel court and be present by Kirley in charge. How in the Hades could you use that audio? It was hell. Could you in the mind of that? Do what? Stand for it. The next time, hell of a set straight up.